Good morning, everybody. I'm working on my 2000 Ford Ranger again. This will be, I believe it's part 4, an update. And I got my black and white Tomcat here. He's about 6 months old, very helpful. I call him my apprentice right now because he has been underfoot the entire morning while I'm working on this truck. Just a quick update. I still don't have a replacement transmission in. I did get the thing inspected. It did fail inspection as expected, but I was able to get my VIN number verified so I could title this in Missouri. Because it was an out-of-state title, you have to have an IEOE or something to that effect check mark on your inspection so that they can say, yeah, the VIN matches the title. What I've been working on in the meantime is I've got a transmission showing up today. Hopefully it was supposed to show up yesterday and didn't. But that transmission on the stand is the one I just took out. I was able to drive it up there and get it inspected. I was going into 1, 2, and 3. Overdrive is totally stripped out on that transmission, so when it shifted to overdrive, RPMs dropped down to nothing. If I had my foot off the gas, or it'd shoot up to 5,000 if I didn't. The only way I could get it to go back into gear was to hit the overdrive switch. It would re-engage the gears, and so, sure. That transmission is junk. I may decide to try to tear it apart and see if it can be rebuilt. I don't know anything about rebuilding transmissions, though. So anyway, long story short, we're getting down here. I know the backlighting's terrible, but you can see my tires are no longer canted out at the bottom. And what I did was, I figured out that the camber adjustment bolts were incorrectly installed by the previous owner, or one of the previous owners, when they changed out the upper ball joints. What they had also bought was the lower ball joints. They seem to be okay because they passed inspection, but the tie rods were garbage. And so I just spent last night changing out the tie rods, inner and outers on both sides. And that's when I figured out I could adjust the camber bolts. And lo and behold, this thing looks okay now. I'm still going to take the lift out of it because I still don't have any shocks. I mean, these things are so hyperextended right now that they don't even work. So anyway, I do got to tighten up that sway bar linkage too, if you're seeing that. But this video is actually just an update. No transmission installed at the moment, but I'm telling you about the front end because when you put the tie rods in, they're not the same as the ones that were in it. Probably not the same as the factory ones. These have probably been replaced before. But the links are all different. So what do you do when you got that? Okay, so what you see here on the floor is a string, a jack stand, a string tied to the back tire to where it's touching both faces of the tire. Now this one's slightly missing on the front. That could be the wind. It could be just that I'm walking a little dog-legged on this truck. But anyway, I want to hit the face of the tire with this string, come all the way to the front with it, touch the face here, the rear face of the tire, and adjust the tie rod to where got just a little gap there. And I know that's kind of hard to see, but there's about a 3/16 to a 1/4 inch gap on this side. And same setup, a 3/16 to a 1/4 inch gap on this side. In other words, the vehicle is towed in at this moment, just slightly. I don't know how much you're supposed to be towed in, and I don't know how much camber I'm supposed to have on this vehicle, but I've got it enough to where I'm not eating off the inside edges of those tires, and I think it'll steer better. Before you begin this process, you got to set your steering wheel to where it's level. Now mine is just skewed slightly, you know, like 5 minutes after noon right there. But I think everything's going to be just fine. The plan is new tires and an alignment, professional alignment. This is just to get me to the shop. And once transmission's back in, I need to get it re-inspected. At that point, I'm going to be buying 4 new tires and having them align it as well. And after that, this thing should be on the road. I am going to take the time today and take those rear shackle extensions out. I want to drop this thing back down to factory height on both front and back. I've got torsion keys that should be showing up next week that I'll take the lift out of the front as well and level this thing probably a 1/2 inch down from the back according to the fender flares. So at the back it should be 34, at the front it should be 33.5 by the time I'm all said and done, transmission's installed and everything. So that is today's update, and hopefully later today I get my transmission, and maybe next week I'll get those keys and everything in. I'll do an update at that point. Thanks for watching.